Hi guys, okay, so what I'm drawing here is three versions of, or three views of the fist. So this first one would be a fist coming at you, and I'm just laying out my basic structure here, and then I'm sort of outlining it. I always draw sort of like a leaning, like a lopsided house. It's essentially the shape that I start out with, and then I place the knuckles and start placing the thumb and everything else around it. And then I'll draw in a bit of a thin, I think I drew in 0.8 here, and what I'm doing is drawing in a fine line so that I can go ahead and put in as many lines as I want until I start getting the angles that I'm after, and then I'll make those darker. And this is the right hand, top of the hand, and you'll see I draw that structure again, and then I start connecting the knuckles, and that arrow right there is showing that I'm going to lean the top knuckles of the fist that way. So looking down, that would be the second set of knuckles. So there you go, that's the top of the knuckles there, that's the thumb, that's the index finger curled under there, and the ring finger, pinky. So putting just a little bit of shading there to show, there's some depth. Otherwise, if it was flat, it would just look really weird. And then I'm double checking right there the bone structure, what I've got. Okay, and this would be the same right hand, but the thumb will be on the right hand this time. So same structure, just in reverse. I got the pads of the fist there. I've got all the knuckles folded over. A real light thumb I drew in right there. And now you can see I'm sort of checking, are these fingers where I want them? Putting a thumb there. And in a little bit here, I actually sort of erased this because I realized that this is more like a fist that you would have if you had something in there. A sword, a pair of nunchucks, I don't know, handle of a shovel or something would go there. And even then this would be looking at a straight on angle. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so see, I erase it lightly, sort of keeping the structure that I want, but now I'm going to angle it more sharply because I want something a little bit more dynamic looking. So, and even still after this, I still end up changing it because I wanted it even more of a dynamic look. So yeah, I'm just going through. You can see there you go. I guess I think that would be like the third set of knuckles down there. And then there we go. Now I'm just sort of blocking in everything I want with the darker lines like I was talking about earlier. And you'll see I'll even draw a little line right there. It is. And that basically shows me, okay, am I on track? If something was in this fist, would it even be able to fit in there? So just little ways that I use to double check what I'm doing. And there we go. This, I'm actually laying out the structure. I'm trying to show, here's where the bones are, that's where the knuckles would be at. I'm sort of going over it to show you and verify, hey, this is how I do it. This is the method I use. And this is sped up this is 4 times faster than I would actually be drawing. So I had to do so to make the video 10 minutes, otherwise it's a 22-minute video. Okay, yeah, this is the one where I was like, I think I could do a little bit more with that fist right there. So I'm going back through erasing that, and I'm gonna tweak it a little bit more to give it a bit more of a dynamic shape to it. And I had paused the video, that's why it all of a sudden shrunk. So I came back to record this and didn't realize I was actually drawing smaller. So in a few minutes here, just give it a second and it'll pop back up to a larger screen. There we go. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to do a little bit more foreshortening on the backhand, or the back side of the fist. So you'll see like a little bit of a knuckle wrinkle here that I'm going to put up above the thumb. There it is. And I'll darken that in later to show that, you know, it's falling into the background, off into the distance, and it's not, you know, part of the finger up on top here. And I sort of do this thing too, where as I'm going, like right now I'm trying to learn, you know, how to show what I'm doing, because sometimes I'll just draw these things and I take shortcuts because I understand the structure, and then I'll sometimes double check myself. But the key of this is to sort of be able to show you from the get-go, hey, you know, this is how I'm drawing my structure, and this is where I'm going, and, you know, for it to be more easily understood. So it's undoubtedly I'll end up drawing these fists again, you know, using a different technique to try to show more, you know, in a better way, I should say, how I'm doing this. So yeah, just let me know in the comments, you know, what you think, or if you would like to actually see, you know, the full 22-minute video, things like that. Because I can also upload a short version of it and then the actual, you know, the full thing, if anybody's interested in seeing that. But for the time being, what they tell me is, you know, 10-minute videos are the best. So yeah, you can see what I'm sort of doing here is I'm curling the knuckles. The bottom two fingers there, the pinky and the ring finger, those are the ones that I'm curling under the most. Those top two would actually be right where or the index and the middle finger would be right where your thumb would rest. So we actually wouldn't be able to see the main, you know, punching knuckle up on top there. They would be hidden behind those two fingers. But these other two we can. So yeah, there's actually a sketch I drew of this last year of Wolverine's hand. If you check on G+ in my 2014 sketches, you'll actually see that in there. So yeah, I just did a little bit of shading to show, you know, hey, this is the direction I'm trying to make things fall into, give a little bit of depth, put the wrinkles on the bottom of the hand there, show that that's the top knuckles. Yeah, I'm just going back through and, you know, realigning everything. But you can still see even the lines from the previous, where the thumb is going straight down. You can still fit something into this hand if you had to, but you can see how the pinky and the ring finger would have to come up to hold something, unless it, you know, it was a very thin item, like a piece of wire or something. And then what I'm doing right here is I'm just going back through and, you know, cleaning things up a little bit, just showing, yeah, okay, I wouldn't leave that mark there. Maybe put a few more wrinkles on the thumb. Get rid of these lines here so they don't look like they're, you know, some type of afterthought left over. And yeah, so that's pretty much my process to how I approach fists. And, you know, obviously if this was attached to like a drawing that I was going to spend, you know, several hours on, I would actually, you know, keep basically sculpting it like that until I get exactly what I want. And right here I'm turning back on that structure layer to show you, you know, what I changed and basically kept pretty close to the initial structure. Just give it a little bit more of a dynamic look. And let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching.